Hello, welcome to the Kitchen Spy. My name is Kate, and if this is your first time here, then welcome. And if you've been here before, then remember me. It's been quite a while since I've posted a video, so sorry about that. It's just really busy at the moment, and I'll post whenever I can. So this video is a kind of combination of many weeks of meals. So I've just taken a few selected ones and I've put them into some kind of category like chicken or pork or whatever. So there's not a huge amount, but what I'll do is down below I'll leave bookmarks. So if you're only interested in the pork ones or the beef ones, actually there are no beef ones. I can't believe there are no beef ones. Anyway, but oh dear. Anyway, I've forgotten how to do voiceovers. So yeah, I've done that. And then on the end, as usual, just a little bit about Wales. And yeah, so I'm fine. I've had lots and lots of messages asking me if I'm okay. And I am. Thank you. There's nothing wrong. It's just, honestly, I'm just trying to come to terms with this new bit of my life. And I know I've been saying that for a while. But it's surprising, actually, how what you do expands to fit the time that you have available. And I think that when I was working full time and perhaps I didn't feel as fulfilled as I wanted to in a kind of creative way, if you like, I think the videos then that I did at the weekend and things kind of helped that. But now I am doing other things and I'm feeling much better. So yeah, I'm going to try and do them when I can. And yeah, so I'm waffling on. So we're going to start with some of the meal ideas, and if I've done a recipe for them, I'll link them down below. Some of them have got calories and some of them haven't. So we're going to start with chicken. So what else are you going to start with but a good old chicken roast dinner? So this, I haven't got calories for this actually, but it's not going to be huge. It's just a roast chicken, and I've served it there with some roast potatoes, some roast carrots, some green beans and asparagus and broccoli. I like to have loads of vegetables, loads of different vegetables, and it really fills your plate up. Reduces the number of calories that you intake, and also make sure that you're finding your meals interesting. And then with the chicken, I usually get out of a chicken there are two of us in my family that I cook for, and we tend to get 3 meals each from the chicken. Yeah, so this is just a roast chicken dinner. And then the second meal from this same chicken actually was chicken quesadilla. And this is something that I am trying really hard to master. And it tastes delicious, but I can't get it to stick together. So if anyone has got any kind of tips on how to do that, I think maybe I'm using either not enough cheese or maybe not the right type of cheese. But anyway, this is really lovely, and basically some gluten-free wraps. And I usually put some peppers and onions and things in there, and obviously some seasoning as well. And I tend to serve this with a big old salad because you don't really need any other carbs. You've got a couple of wraps there. So yeah, yummy and nice the day afterwards as well. So this is just a chicken curry, and I've just put this one in because it's just so ridiculously simple and really tasty. So all I've done here is just take some chicken. This was raw chicken, but you can use cooked chicken. It's not raw there. Clearly I've cooked it. I'm not that mad. Anyway, so yeah, just used curry powder, tomatoes. I usually put garlic in and things as well, and ginger if I've got any, some peppers, whatever I've got, and then just finish it off with a little bit of yogurt. Just makes all the difference. And this with the mini poppadoms and the rice, that all came to 471 calories, and it was really lovely because the chicken is the thing with the calories really, and everything else is not very much. So yeah, yummy and delicious. So this is one of our favourite chicken dishes, and this is deviled chicken, and originally it was from the Rosemary Connolly Low Fat Cookbook, which was big in the 90s, I suppose the 90s anyway. But it's just a really super easy recipe, and I'll leave the link to the recipe down below if you want to give it a go. And we serve it mainly with rice, but it's also great with potatoes and pasta, or even on its own with just some vegetables. I quite often have that if I'm looking to kind of cut down on calories, because the actual portion of chicken itself, which is basically a breast of chicken per person, and then there's either passata or tomato juice, or even at a push a can of tomatoes, and then with spicy things in there. So that portion, without the rice, those are extra, and without the veg, but the portion of chicken with that deviled sauce is 248 calories. So it's not deviled as in evil. No, I certainly wouldn't serve you anything evil. It's just as in spicy. So deviled chicken. And then I just wanted to share this with you, because I know this is another roast chicken dinner, or so it looks like. But one day I was looking in the fridge, and I'd got some chicken breast sandwich meat that was going out of date on that day. And so I didn't want to waste it, and I didn't use it for lunch. So actually I just used a pack of sandwich meat, and I served both of us this meal. So it was the sandwich meat. I did a gluten-free Yorkshire pudding, some vegetables, and as you can see, we've got roast carrots there. I love roast carrots, and they give a really good flavour to your meal and don't add many calories. And then also some new potatoes. So those are Jersey mid potatoes. So yeah, really easy, really quick, and that was 405 calories for that entire meal. And I've subsequently done it with roast beef and a few other things as well. So yeah, really good way to use sandwich meat. And then next is a good old stir fry. So this was using just chicken, and then a stir fry mix, and also some rice noodles. I'm really struggling to get any gluten-free noodles that aren't just the rice noodles at the moment for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm having to use these super fine ones, which I don't really like very much actually. But anyway, this was a really nice meal. It's really quick and easy. And I have started to buy the little gluten-free stir fry sauces, because they just make it so quick and easy at the end of a day, just to throw something together, something healthy and nutritious. I don't really know what the calories are on this, but it's certainly not going to be very much, and loads of veg. So we're going to move on to the fish dishes now. So nothing particularly spectacular here. I'm not a very confident fish cook, if I'm honest. But this is just a side of salmon. This is not all of the side of salmon, obviously. From any of the supermarkets do it. But I think it's easier this way, because this is basically enough for both of us. So I have this kind of size portion, and then my husband eats the rest. And I've served it here with a warm potato salad, and that's literally just boiled new potatoes, and then just as they are at the end of their cooking time, just throw in some green beans for the last couple of minutes, and then take it out, let them sit for a bit after you've drained them, and then add tomatoes and spring onions to the potatoes and the green beans, and then just put in some mayonnaise. So this is low calorie mayonnaise. So I'm not exactly sure of the calories on this, but it's a really lovely salad, and we have that quite a lot. It's also lovely with chicken as well. And yeah, as I said, not terribly exciting at this, but this is pan-fried cod loin with new potatoes and peas, and I have got a calorie count on that. That was 454 calories. And basically I just took the cod loin out and just sprinkled it with some kind of seasoning. I think this was Cajun seasoning, and then just pan fried it in a pan with just a few sprays of oil, and then served it with new potatoes, and on this occasion peas. So like I said, I'm not a terribly confident fish cook, so my fish cookery is quite basic, but we try to have fish at least once a week. Gives you some good vitamins and minerals that you don't get from other pieces of meat or from vegetables. Next on the fish dishes is these are fish cakes. I know they look a bit, oh goodness me, not very tidy, but they are salmon, made with salmon and cod. I just got some in the freezer that I wanted to use up, so I just cooked it and then mixed it with some mashed potatoes, and then I formed them into cakes and then just shallow fried them. Well, not even shallow fried them. I actually fried them with just a few sprays of oil, and then I just put them in the oven, do that, and then just put them in the oven to finish off cooking through. Obviously everything's cooked, it's just a case of warming it. So I think I might have, I'm not going to say burnt, I'm going to say a caramelized these, but actually that just gives it a really nice coating, because I don't really bother with breadcrumbs on fish cakes and things. Sometimes I do, but on these particular ones I didn't. Yeah, but that was really delicious. Again, I don't have the calories on that, but it wouldn't have been too bad. And I don't add butter to the potatoes when I'm using them for a fish cake, because I find that just makes the fish cake a little greasy. And you can't really have a bit on fish without good old fish and chips, can you? So I've never actually battered and cooked fish before. So this is using a gluten-free fish batter recipe from Becky XL. Now, if you've never heard of Becky XL, she is a really wonderful gluten-free cook. I will link something down below, whether it be her Facebook or her blog or whatever. But she's also got a cookbook out, and this was the batter from that. Actually, I got the batter from her blog, but it was absolutely blinking delicious. So we've got cod here, and because this was the first time I'd done this and I didn't want to overface myself, I actually used oven chips here, but I didn't deep fry it. I think her recipe called for it to be deep fried, but I actually shallow fried the fish. Oh, it was so lovely. And I did 4 pieces because I thought the pieces were going to be quite small, but they weren't in the end. They were quite big. So I've actually frozen 2 of them on the basis that you can buy ready battered frozen fish. So and it was fresh fish in the beginning. So I'm hoping when I get that out of the freezer, the other bits of it, that it'll be okay. But it was delicious. Again, I don't know the calories on this. I mean, probably it's best not to know the calories on this, but it was honestly delicious. The batter was beautifully crispy, and it used beer, and so I used gluten-free beer, obviously, and gluten-free self-raising flour as well, and some baking powder, so it was lovely and bubbly. It was really, really lovely, and I'll link it down below. Served here with mushy peas as well. And then on to a couple of meat-free dishes. So this is something I do quite a lot, and this is really just a vegetable bake. So it's basically any vegetables that you've got. So I think here I can see carrots and cauliflower and broccoli, and you can use peas and leeks and whatever you want to. And you just cook the vegetables, and then just till the point where they're al dente, because you're going to cook them again in the oven, and then just cover them in a lovely cheese sauce. And you can make your cheese sauce however you make it. This is clearly a gluten-free cheese sauce. Well, it's not clearly, it is to me, and to you if you've watched me before. It's a gluten-free cheese sauce. And when I make cheese sauce, if I'm trying to cut down on the calories, I don't do a roux as in normal white or cheese sauce. I just use milk, and we use lactose-free milk, not because we're lactose free, just because we do, and just milk and garlic powder and mustard, and also some corn flour and cheese, obviously, and just mix that through, cover it in some more cheese, because you can never have enough cheese unless you hate cheese, like my friend Sarah, who watches this. She hates cheese. I can't get my head around that, but Sarah, we all have our foibles and our things to cope with. Anyway, so cover it with cheese and paprika or cayenne pepper, and then just pop it in the oven and serve it like this. And because there's no meat or anything, the calories aren't horrendous, and the cheese gives you protein. And so, yeah, it's a really good meal and something we have quite often. Really, really nice, really tasty, and really cheap. So then another thing we have quite often, and this looks like everything I cook is covered in cheese. It isn't, not all the time. So this is gnocchi bake. So it's just some plain gnocchi served with a spicy tomato sauce. And in this occasion, it's actually not got any meat in it, but usually I put chorizo in it or bacon or whatever. So just cook the gnocchi, then pop it into a sauce that you've made, just a tomato based vegetable sauce, and then just pop it in the oven. I on top of this, going on about cheese again, I tend to use a whole ball of low fat mozzarella, and then also some parmesan as well, sprinkled over the top. And anything with cheese toppings, I always put cayenne pepper or paprika on the top, just to give it a little bit of colour first of all when it comes out of the oven, but also just a nice little flavour on the top as well. I have done a recipe for the gnocchi bake, but the one I did had got meat in it, but I will link it down below, because really the sauce is exactly the same, you just miss the meat out. So yeah, one of our favourite meat-free dishes, and we try to eat meat-free at least once a week. So we try to have fish once a week, and we try to eat meat-free once a week, and yeah, just to get a bit of variety in our diet. And then we're on to pork, and this looks really boring, I appreciate it does, but actually it's very tasty, and it's something you can prepare in advance. And you can do this with minced beef or minced pork, as I have here, or with turkey or whatever, but it's really just savoury mince, so it's not like a spag bol or anything. It's just mince in a kind of gravy with whatever vegetables you've got. And in this instance, I've got onions and carrots in there, and just served it with rice here. It looks really plain, but it is really very tasty. And you can also pop mashed potato on the top to make, well, it wouldn't be a shepherd's pie because it's not lamb, and it wouldn't be a cottage pie because it's not beef. I don't know what you call it, a piggery pie? Is there such a thing? I don't know. Anyway, a pork keeper pie, whatever. But yeah, anyway, it's really lovely, and served with rice or whatever you want to serve it with. So yeah, that's something that freezes really well, and that's what this was, a freezer portion out of the freezer. So yeah, cooking is time consuming, so I always try to cook enough so that I can freeze stuff as well. I wouldn't cook this and freeze it as well. This is just good old sausage, chips and baked beans, and I put it, I would barely call this, well, it's not a recipe, is it? Let's face it, it's just whacking a few things onto a plate. But I just wanted to put it on because, firstly, it's delicious. And secondly, I just wanted to point out to you these Aldi sausages. So, and also the skin on chunky chips as well from Aldi, and they are really lovely, all of these things. And Branston baked beans. I'm not sponsored by any of those things. But the sausages are just really lovely. So they are normal sausages. They're not low fat or anything, but they are gluten-free. And they're quite cheap. And I'm ruining this a bit by not being able to tell you how cheap they are. But they are really, really lovely. So I would recommend them. I think they're British outdoor reared stuff, because that's what I try to buy if I can. And Aldi are doing a really good job at the moment of, animal welfare and things on lots of things. So yeah, so anyway, really tasty and definitely worth looking out for that Aldi pork sausages. And generally speaking, whether you are gluten-free or not, a gluten-free pork sausage will have a higher meat content and will be more delicious. So this is a roast pork dinner. So my husband really doesn't like beef very much in roasts and things. So whenever we go out, if we go out for Sunday lunch or something, I always have beef, he always has chicken. And the thing that we have as a compromise between us that we both like is pork. So this is a roast pork dinner, and yeah, lovely, and with crackling as well, beautiful crispy crackling, and just served with various vegetables and a Yorkshire pudding. And I know that Yorkshire puddings are traditional with beef, but I think they can just go with anything. In fact, I could just eat them on their own. I absolutely love them. So the crackling is good as well, because my husband doesn't really like it, so I can have all of the crackling to myself. And I do. That's amazing. So yeah, we don't have pork very often because I eat my own body weight in pork crackling, and but actually, surprisingly, it's actually not that calorific if you take the fat out from the bottom. And in Marks and Spencer's, they've got little straws of pork crackling, and they are quite low calories. Have a look out for those. Those are nice, like little straw pork crackling things. Anyway, because we were having pork, I was eating the crackling. It didn't make any sense not to do roast potatoes properly. So these were roast potatoes that were roasted in the pork juices. As you can see, they were lovely and crispy and caramelized and or burnt, whichever way you want to look at it. But I love roast potatoes like this. But I'm always kind of in some kind of inner turmoil with myself about whether I want to use the meat juices for the gravy or the meat juices for the roast potatoes. I think on this occasion I managed to sort it out so that I could do both. But yeah, I love roast potatoes. So yeah, I know that's quite boring, but yeah, pork and roast potatoes. So if obviously you are looking, not obviously, but if you are looking to reduce calories or whatever, I make roast potatoes that are really delicious as well. And I just use spray oil and put them on a dryish pan into the oven, and they are lovely, but never quite as good as if they've been cooked in the meat fat. But I appreciate that's not for everyone. And then lastly, this is some Aldi gnocchi, and unfortunately it was on the when it's gone thing, and it's some stuffed gnocchi, and this was stuffed with pesto and some cheese as well, just a small amount of cheese, and I just served that here with tomato sauce made with cherry tomatoes, and there's some bacon in there as well. Yeah, really delicious, and then just topped with some parmesan. But we've also had this with garlic and lemon as well. Just a really, really lovely meal, and quite easy and quick. And I have actually stocked up on them because as when it was gone, it was going to be gone. I made sure I took some before it went. Anyway, yeah, so there you are. So that is the end of the recipes, and now I'm just going to show you a bit of Mid Wales and West Wales. So if you're leaving at this point, thanks so very much for watching, and if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps my channel. If you're staying on, here's a bit of Wales. So we've been spending quite a lot of time down at the caravan, and so I've just filmed a few things for you there, but also I'm just going to show you somewhere a bit closer to our house. So this is Poppet Sands, and I just wanted to show you this because this was after a quite a big storm, and it had got loads of flotsam and jetsam up there, but it had also kind of eked away under the trees as well. And this is the river near to Poppet Sands, and what we've started to do more often is take our sandwiches with us. So we take them in the car, and we've got a flask and some sandwiches, as you can see here. So I've got some ham sandwiches and some crisps, and we sit and watch the world go by and enjoy our day. So yeah, picnics are for us. Actually, today we're at the caravan, and I'm voice recording this by being sat in the bedroom. It's raining, and we had prepared a picnic, but it was so bad. We had our picnic on the floor in the lounge. But we had one nonetheless. Anyway, this is Garthbank, near to where we live in Mid Wales. It's from Garthbank, and it's looking out towards the Cambrian Mountains, and I just thought the sky was so beautiful. I just wanted to share that with you, and we are just so blessed to have all this loveliness on our doorstep. I mean, just look at it, it's just fabulous. This place was one of Jessie's favourite places too. And then I wanted to share this with you, and I hope you can see, but when we were at Poppet Sands, the bees, can you see how many there are? They were just absolutely everywhere on this carpet of whatever it is. I mean, it was so bad that we had to, like, not so bad, so good actually, because I love bees. But yeah, there were so many of them that we were terrified we would stand on them. So we had to like really pick our way through because there were just loads of them. So they clearly loved this. I love bees. They are just amazing creatures and give us so very much, and you know, are responsible for a lot of the foodstuffs in the world, being as successful as they are. So I just thought I'd share this with you because I just thought it was so lovely to see all of these creatures enjoying the landscape. Okay, so there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. So yeah, it's a bit epic in terms of the length of it, so I'm sorry about that, but this was just catching up with some meals. I am going to be, the next video I'm going to launch is actually a haul for a company called Cherries. Now I'll explain to you on that video about why I'm doing that, but it took absolutely ages. I mean, I think I've had the box since October or November or something ridiculous. Anyway, so that'll be the next one. And then I'm also going to try a little treasure haul from some of the things that we bought recently at antiques fairs or car boot sales or charity shops or whatever. So I'm going to try that as well. And I, of course, will also try some meal ideas and things. Anyway, thanks if you are still here at this point. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Sorry it's all a bit haphazard at the moment, but I am happy, I am enjoying life, and I hope you are the same. So you just look after you and those that you love, and I'll hopefully see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Take care. Bye bye.